Lovely. All right, so yeah, stepping on the spot. I've got the timer, not just my dodgy phone timer this time. All right, and like I said, it'll be 1 minute of cardio, something to get your heart rate up, and then 2 minutes recovery time for your heart rate, but a challenge to your balance and your standing strength, functional strengthening. Okay, I think Nikki's still just getting her shoes. If you want to start doing some of our other warm-ups, maybe coming up onto tiptoes, lowering the heel, tiptoes, lowering the other heel. Good, bringing the arms in. Remember, you can make it nice and quick if you're doing it as a warm-up, just maintaining good form. Lovely, nice and quick. Switch, switch, switch. Brilliant. Always take the lower intensity and lower impact options if you've got any joint problems that feel like they might be aggravated by the higher impact, or if you are finding that your heart rate is going uncomfortably high. Don't push on through, there's always the other version to come back to. All right, so take it back down. I'll start your first minute, and it's just stepping or jogging on the spot. Starting now. My timer doesn't actually give me a countdown, it's just 1 minute is the smallest number, so it's up when it's up, I'm afraid. I'll count you down, you'll just hear the beeps. There you go. Lovely. All right, bringing it back to stepping. I'm going to set it for 2 minutes. And your first exercise we're going to do is clam in standing. All right, so take your time, find good standing position. Take all the way over onto 1 foot. Strong through the glute on that side, soft through the knee. Float the other one up so you can hook it. That's your pivot point. And we're going to open out through the hip. And close. So opening out, keeping the hip bones pointing straight forward like headlights. Your shoulders are open, they're settled back away from your ears. Tall through the crown of your head. You're just opening, squeezing into the glute, and shutting. If you do want to add to this, once you've got the hip open, you can try and just lift out and back with the leg, and then come back in. Right, you don't need to add that, you can just keep working here. But to really feel that glute activation, lift out and back. I'll tell you when we're halfway, and you can switch to the other leg. Remember, stay strong on the standing leg. Lovely balance. Okay, take that leg down and come to the other side. Out, breath out. Lift if you want to. Okay, make sure you don't hitch through the waist. It's all coming from the hip. Think of the lift coming from that. Glute med behind the hip joint. Lift. Out breath. Lovely, really good form through the rest of the body. Don't let those shoulders creep up. You must be nearly there. There you go. Well done. Okay, we're coming back to a minute of our next cardio exercise. which is to either squat down and touch or to jump up. Starting now, you squat down, touch the floor, reach up, okay? Touch and reach, or touch and jump, touch, jump. All right, so you can have your feet wider if you're just reaching, but you want your feet to be underneath your hips if you're jumping. Good. Touch and reach, touch and reach, or touch and jump. Good, keep going. Waiting for the magic beats. It's too much, that's it. Time to stop. Well done. Okay, our next standing exercise is our double leg stretch. Starting you off with 2 minutes. Feet hip width. Bring the arms up to shoulder height. Keep the shoulders dropped back and down, long back of your neck. And we're going to open up the arms like a chest stretch. And then lower. Open up. And lower. Just let your breathing regulate. Don't try and match it to your movement when you're recovering from your cardio. But what we do want to do is start bringing the legs in. So as the arms float up, try coming up onto the toes on one foot. Lower the arms. Change sides. We're working towards taking it into a one leg balance, or you can just keep coming up onto the toes. But if you can, float that leg up and lower. Arms, float the leg. Keep the shoulder tops down. Stay lovely and long through the whole spine. Strong through the standing hip, but don't lock the knee out. And just keep alternating. Hopefully your breathing is back to normal. I'm doing a full 2 minutes here. So you really get time to work on your precision of your movement, your control and your balance. There are some exercises that we'll do twice, but most will only do once. Lots of variety. There you go, that's your 2 minutes. And I'm going to set another 1 minute for jacks. Okay, so you can do your full jumping jacks or your low impact version, which I'll remind you of. Starting now, low impact is one leg at a time. Okay, but keep the pace up, because we still want to keep the heart rate up. Or full jacks. Just 1 minute, and we're waiting for the beeps. If you need to, take it back. But keep moving all the time. Just 1 minute, so keep moving. And stop. Well done. Good. Our next standing exercise is a really relaxed one. We're going to do some spine twists. Feet out beyond hip width. Just soften into the knees. Fixing in that pelvis. Bring your fingertips up to your temples. Elbows wide, shoulders down. And we'll do some twists. Lovely. Let your breathing come back. Nice and steady. As your breath is deepened, just remember to try and send it down into your lower ribs, keeping your center engaged and your connection at the front. That's 1 minute. We're doing 1 minute more. Sorry, I needed it for one. And as your breathing has started to come back to normal, try and add the breathing in the twist to deepen that stretch. So you keep your hip bones pointing forward like headlights while you're twisted around there, breathe in, and then come back. Lovely, keep going. Our next cardio exercise is going to be high knees, either jogging high knees, or I'll remind you of the low impact version. Nearly there. Breathe in the stretch. And come back round. That's it. Well done. Okay, so 1 minute of high knees. Starting now. So lifting like you're climbing a ladder. That's it. Or lift, alternate, keeping one foot on the ground at all times. Okay, this is your one you can come back to if the other one is too high impact or too intense. We'll do our ladder climbs. Just 1 minute. Well done. Keep it up if you can. You're nearly there. You feel like long minutes, don't they? Okay, and stop. I have a feeling that I didn't press the button. Sorry, guys. My bad. All right. We're going to do another nice, calm, standing exercise. 2 minutes. I'll press the button. I'm going to go side on so you can see what I'm doing. It's hundreds in standing. So come down into a squat position, like this. Forward fold with your tailbone slightly sticking out behind you. So you've got that neutral spine, center engaged. Open through the fronts of the shoulders, arms alongside. And we're just pressing back through the arms. So take the time here, before you try and progress it, take the time to regulate your breathing and your heart rate. Maintain really good form. Your knees are down, bent over your toes. And you're looking just down at the mat in front so the back of the neck stays long. Keep pulsing from the shoulders, keep the shoulder blades sliding into your pockets. If you want to add a progression onto this, we're working towards coming into a one-leg stand. So a balance. You've done a minute already. Transfer your weight onto one foot. The other one can just rest on its toes or maybe float up. Keep pulsing the arms back. See if you can balance. Still in a nice deep squat. Still strong through your centre supporting. If you have a go at that, make sure you have a go at the other side. Try the other leg. Keep working on those arms, pressing back to the shoulders and the triceps. Lovely exercise for them. Keep the chin gently tucked, back of the neck long. Rest on both feet if you need to finish up our last few seconds. There you go. Well done. All right. Into our next cardio exercise then. We're going to do some butt kicks. So you can do them as a jog or you can do them as a step. I'll set it for 1 minute and I'll press start. Okay, so standing version, stepping version. Okay, always 1 foot on the ground at a time. If you want to jog it, then you can. Yeah. Stay lovely and upright. Keep your shoulders open through their fronts. Just keep looking forward. Try and get those heels to kick your hands, whether you're doing the standing or the jogging version. And stop, well done. Brilliant. I'm going to go side on to you again for this one. We're going to do scissors. 2 minutes. And there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either step forward into this step lunge position and work from here, or you can step into every rep. All right, so if you struggle with your knees, this is probably better for you. You're lowering your back knee down to the mat, pushing back up, working your quads on both sides. Okay, but you can, if you want to, step into every one. Step, lower, push back. Step, lower, push back. I'll tell you when to change sides. Unless you're already alternating, I'll tell you when you're halfway. But for those of you who are doing the static position, you'll definitely need to change halfway. If you want to add arms, you can do a little bicep curl with it. And imagine you've got hand weights. Put the effort in as if you have. Focus on your biceps. Tense them. Okay, time to change legs. Stepping with the other one, or carry on alternating if that's what you were doing. And if you're in your static position, you're lowering and lifting. You can still bicep curl, lower and lift. Good, keep going. Quads in both legs, working really hard with that knees coming down close to the mat. Nearly there. And finish up. Well done. Okay, so our last variation on our cardio exercises, and then they'll all be familiar after this. We'll do our bear walkout with a press up optional at the end. So starting with 1 minute now. Roll yourselves down. Take your time. You don't need to do these fast. Walk your hands out. Optional press up. Stick your bottom up, walk your hands back. Try and keep your legs fairly straight, but soft at the knees. Good. Roll down, nice and smooth. Walk your hands. And walk back. Wonderful. Keep going. Put the hair in. That's done already. Lovely. Back to your feet. All right, full 2 minutes for our next exercise. So you can take your time. We're going to do scooter. It's a hard one. It's challenging. 2 minutes are starting now. I'm going to come into that same position as we were in for hundreds. Okay, a little squat here. Folded forward at the hips, neutral spine, and your low tummy engaged to support it. Take all your weight onto one foot so that you can slide or step the other one back. Here and back in. Here and in. Again, work all to one side and then we'll swap after a minute. If you want to bring the arms in, you can. Lift as the leg slides away. Strong on that standing leg. It's bent, you're in quite a low squat, and you're extending through the hip of the leg sliding or stepping behind you. Lifting the arms is optional, you can rest them on your hips instead if you prefer. Keep going a little bit more to this side, and then we'll have a mini break to set up the other leg. Okay, so come back up, a few little steps, come back into position, transfer the weight onto the other leg, and start sliding or stepping back. Nearly there. Keep going for a few more if you can. Keep the shoulder tops down as you reach the arms up. There you go. Well done. That's a hard one. All right, we're back into 1 minute of cardio. And we're back to stepping or jogging on the spot. 1 minute starting now. All right, so step it or jog it. Take it to where's right for you, where you're feeling that you're challenging yourself. As always, you should feel that it's the right level, but you feel in control and not uncomfortable. Nearly there. Well done. That's a stop. Okay, 2 minutes. A nice steady one now. We're going to do a one leg balance. So you need to come into your hip width standing position. Just settle through your upper body. Settle your ribs, settle your breathing. Take your weight over onto one foot. We're going to try floating up until this other leg comes up to hip height. And then lower it back down. Transfer the weight. Other side. Your hands can just rest. And then we'll add in an option that you can take or leave, but just to add a little knee bend into the standing foot. Push back up. Okay? So you find your really good balance, you switch your glute on, and then you just need to lower a little bit through that knee, making sure it doesn't roll in, get it going straight down over your middle toes, then push up. Right, love the opportunity for your heart rate and your breathing to just settle while you focus in on this control. A full 2 minutes, so plenty of time to practice. And so really think about the glute working on the standing leg as you bend, the knee doesn't roll in. Less than a minute to go. That's it, you're done. Okay, another cardio. We're back to our lovely squat and reaches or squat and jumps if you're doing that. Just 1 minute, I'm starting it. So go down to the toes and jump up. Down to the toes, jump up if you're doing the full version. Okay, alternate version is to squat and reach. Keep the pace up though. Okay, keep the weight in your heels, keep the glutes working as well as those quads, powering you back up if you're doing this. These are called powers, the full version. So soak it all up and burst it out. Your legs should feel tired after this session because they're not getting the rest they got coming down onto the mat last time we did these. It's really great bone loading, and that's you done. And we're going to do 2 minutes. And we'll do 2 minutes of swimming. Now, swimming and standing, first of all, we need to find our start position, which is a bit like scooter when you get to the end of scooter. So you fold forward and slide your foot out behind you. And that's your start position. A long diagonal from your heel to the crown of your head. And then from here, we lift and lower the toe to the mat. From the hip, keeping the pelvis level, lift and lower. Okay, and you can keep your hands resting. You can just rest them on the pelvis like I am. Or if you want to bring them in, you lift alternate arms with that leg. We're going to work on all one leg, then change halfway. Nice and bent through the standing leg. Your knees about 45 degrees. Strong in the glute. Keep going if you can. Not quite ready to change. Looking good. And change sides. So come back up. Prepare your position for your other leg. So fold forward, slide out behind you, and you can start your lift and lower of that toe from the mat. When you're ready, and if you want to, alternate arms lift from that position forward. Up and back, up and back. Keeping the pelvis level, keeping the back of the neck nice and long as well. So you're looking at the top of your mat, imagining that peach held under your chin. Good, Good, keep going for a few more, you're nearly there. And we're going to be back to jacks with our cardio. We've not got many rounds to go now. Well done. That's you done. All right. I'm going to set up another minute for jacks. If you need to, start with the low impact version. Starting now. Here's our low impact version. All right, but if you feel you can and you want to, we're jacking it out. We've got no more new exercises in the standing Pilates. We're going to come back to double leg stretch in a minute. Nearly there. Keep going if you can, but take it down if you need to. Keep your pace up. That's your lot. Good. Okay, you've only got one more cardio round. After this, 2 minutes of double leg stretches. Starting now. Starting with the arms. Opening them up. Send the centre of your chest up to the ceiling, tailbone stays down. And then lower. Good. Open and extend. And lower. While your arms are up there, you can have a breath in to deepen the stretch. And then when you're ready, start adding the legs in as well, one at a time. Floating up onto your toes or off the mat and lower. Good. The arms come up, the chest stretches, and you float one leg up. If you want to stay in a balance for a breath, you can. Take your time, let everything regulate. And it helps you with your balance too. That's it, less than a minute to go. And then we're going to do our butt kicks as our last cardio exercise. Or if you preferred those ladders, you can do those. But as I got you over laddering earlier, I'll let you off. Good. That's it, you're done. Good, that's your 2 minutes. Final minute of heart rate exercise. All right, stepping or flicking into a jog. I'll start at the minute, your choice, step it out or jog ahead. It's your final burst. We will have time for a little stretch afterwards. Step if you need to. Nearly there. That's it. Well done. All right. And our regulator exercise. Let's do a minute of clam and then a minute of spine twists. Starting now. You can rest your hands on your hips, open your shoulders and settle them down. Take that one leg up to hook. Open and close. Now I'm not going to be able to give you a 30 seconds for this, so we'll do a few and swap. Last couple to this side. And then the other. That's it, well done. Okay. Feet a little bit wider, a little bend into the knees. 1 minute with the fingertips at your temples, shoulders down. Twist, breathe in. And center to breathe in. Moving on your out breath, keeping the hips pointing straight forward. Well done. Do you want to lie down for a stretch? Give yourself a head cushion if you want one. Come down onto your back. Bring your knees in. Give them a hug. Well done. All right, allow one foot to go and slide away. Just stretch it all out. And then take a hold behind this thigh and start straightening the leg up for your hamstring stretch. Pushing one foot up towards the ceiling and the other one away towards the wall in front of you. Good, and release. Bring that other leg in so you can cross this one over and give them both a hug. Okay, let them down to the mat, but leave them crossed. Take your arms out to the sides and roll your legs over. So that top leg is your top leg. And you roll away from it. Twisting and stretching your back. You can look towards your opposite hand if you want to. But just take some breaths. And then use an out breath and you lift the weight of the legs back up and over. Okay, and uncross them. So you can bring that other knee in for a hug. Slide the first leg away now. Ease it out. Try and get the back of the knee down towards the mat. Lovely, and then take a hold behind this thigh. And soften, bring the other one in, cross this one over. Either open like this or tight like that, but bring them both in for a hug. Okay, feet back to the mat, arms out to the sides, and roll away. Stay for a couple of breaths. Use an out breath when you do. Lift your legs back up and over. Uncross them. Keep rolling. Bring yourself onto your knees and your hands. And we'll do a couple of cat stretches here. Cat and cow. Having your breath while you're stretching. Good. And then next time you're up there with your back arched towards the ceiling, stay and send your bottom back to your heels. Start reaching your fingertips away. Lower yourself down into child's pose. And then walk your fingers back in, tuck your toes under. And you can lift your bottom. Use an out breath to rebuild. All the way into standing. Good, well done.